Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's racing action here on Gavra Racing, and of course we are here at Fuji with the Ginetta Evolutions in the new evolution. We've upped an evolution category now, we have to the LMP3s, and tonight we're here at Fuji for 2.835 miles or 4.563 kilometers long circuit, and of course it is a 2-hour race tonight for all of you guys to say. Quickly note, Felipe Massa is the lap record holder around here, 1:18.4, and they have around here the memorable races are the Super GT, Super Formula, World Endurance and the 6 hours of Fuji as well. And alongside me for this 2-hour race tonight is, as always, Ethan.
Thank you very much, James. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you're watching this in the world, where you're joining us for the spectacular race of 2 hours here at Fuji for the LMP3's Ginetta Evolution. As James did say, we have evolved to a new category of racing. Before we were in the GT5s, GT4s, GT3s, and now we are in the LMP3s. More downforce with these cars, a better floor aerodynamic system, more horsepower from the engines. It's just a great little car, and hopefully it will provide us a lot of great racing here today for 2 hours of Fuji. So first of all, we have the practice session of about 10 minutes, and then we go into qualifying. That will also be 10 minutes long. And 2 hours of Fuji, estimated around about 78 laps will need to be completed around here. But obviously that may change going towards the race. Maybe we might see a little bit of rain, not likely though. But we'll have to wait and see. James, I don't know if you've ever driven this track on the game, but I most definitely have. Have you ever driven?
No, I've never driven this circuit. I've watched racing around here, I've never driven it.
It's a very fun circuit, actually. I mean, there's a lot of events going on, such as a GT Sport. They do a lot of events around here. It's quite a fun circuit. Hopefully it should provide us a lot of entertainment, a lot of overtaking opportunities, really. Especially these corner coming up, you go into this left-handed and you're into the long right-handed. If one can take it entry faster but exit slow, maybe a slow entry and a fast exit. It's just a bit of all corners is quite a decent one, and this one off Camber, you just go turning left and onto a little bit of a little straight going down to a hairpin, so it's a little bit of an overtaking opportunity going down towards here. So if you'll be able to give us a little bit of entertainment during the 2 hours, which we most definitely need for 2 hours of racing. But we'll just have a look in the comments section real quickly. Thomas Harden says, good evening guys, good evening to you. Billy O'Connor, what would you call it? He always comes every single week, as you would say. So hello, how are you doing? And he says, hi all, love this car. It's quite a nice car. A lot of downforce for a car that's not actually that much to build. I mean, you can probably build one for about £1 million. I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but for a racing team, it's not really too much. But yeah, it looks like he's pulling over there and stopping the car. We'll just have a go at Garam. But so Aguilera says that today the race starts earlier. Yes, it does. It does start a little bit earlier because it is a 2-hour race. So if you were to start at the normal time, we'd probably be done by about 11 o'clock in the night. So we don't want to go too long because I would like to get some sleep. But yeah, this should be a good race today, James. What are you expecting from all these drivers? A little more action at the start, or just wait it out on strategy and try and pick his way through the field?
I think it'll be done in two different things today. I think it'll be, you have at the start, like everyone frantically trying to go for positions, and then you have three different parts of this race. Frantic at the start, then you have a little bit like dead in like the second half, and then near the middle, so like 1 hour to about, well, I would say anywhere between 1 hour 10 minutes to go and 1 hour 20 minutes to go. You have a bit more battling there because of pit stops coming into play probably, and then near the end of the race you have battling as well, everyone trying to get positions near the end of the race as well, so because the fuel's gone as well. So It'd be interesting to see actually what happens. It will, because like I say, I've done a few endurance racing commentaries now, and it doesn't always go with that way. Always, sometimes it can go where you have lots of battling until like 20 minutes to go, and then 20 minutes to go, you already know your winner. So it depends really. So
Thank you very much, James.
I like
But yeah, it's a race that you can't really predict,
Mm.
really. It's a very difficult one, but it's most definitely an interesting one. But with these brand new Evolution of cars, it should be a lot of fun to see them go around the track here today. But we'll just tell you a quick look at the Gavra standings for the Ginetta Evolution series. Unfortunately, I can't show it on the screen to you, so hopefully I can make my best attempt of describing how it all looks in the standings. At the first place, there is David Caron with 246 points, just about 13 behind. In second place is Dalavan. In third place, with 226 is Lonnie. In fourth is Marco with 170, and Boston Row with 151. We'll go and stop there because I don't want to bore you guys too much, as it's quite hard to take in. But the last 4 races, so that was Algrave, the Nürburgring, the Red Bull Ring, and Bruno, have all been won by one driver, and that is Dalavan. So hopefully he can keep a roll on here today. He's about 1.6, 1.7 seconds behind Lon at the moment in the practice session. But obviously this only just passes, so it doesn't really matter where you finish in this. But we'll just have a quick look at the team standings. And HBH Racing with David and Boston Row are currently leading the championship by only 1 point, with Lonnie and Marco and HLB Racing just behind them. So a very even contest between them, only 1 point separating them, and going into this final leg, James, is going to be quite interesting to see who comes out on top, isn't it?
it is, and it's going to be hopefully close all the way to the finish, hopefully, as well. And just to say, I know you didn't say his name, but just to tell everybody anyway, Boston Row on 151 points in 5th, and in 6th is Ciaventa, 150 points. So that's going to be close for them two to battle it away if Ciaventa's here tonight. Yes, he is. And is Boston Row? Yes, he is. To see if they can do well tonight and actually get close to each other, because they're 1 point away from each other. So anything could happen there. Then we have a little gap and a driver who's not here anymore, but he's still counted apparently. And then Akagram and Beza on 8th and 9th, 2 points away from each other. So it's, as I say, as you say, it's very tight in the championship. Anything can happen.
It's quite... You don't get this kind of championship standings quite late in the championship. You know, one driver such as we had back in the GT3s when we were... You remember Flip Flip? He was always winning the races, and he would... he went on to win the championship that season, and you just don't have that battle at the top. I mean, David and Dalaman are only separated by 13 points. So you think, well, them two are going to have a heated battle for the final quarter of the season, which can be absolutely brilliant. And then you've got Lonnie, who is currently fastest in practice, is only, I believe, 30. He's only 30 points off, so that's basically just a win. Obviously, David and Dalaman have to DNF, or just DNF that race. But Lonnie's only 1 win away from leading the championship, so he's obviously in a battle at the moment, and that's the top 3, all in a battle all together. It'll be great fun. Practice is also complete here, but the drivers can finish the lap that they did start as Lonnie comes across the line now. He finishes off, and I don't think he improves in the LMP3 car. No, he doesn't. The guy we're just going to ride on, he is in Sector 2, I believe he is. No, he's not. He's in the final sector, going around the final corner. So I bet, unfortunately, just going to and he's drawing back. Don't know what happened there. Garam's looking like he's going to come across the line. Don't think he'll be able to improve, but I'm not too sure. He comes across the line in a few seconds. and now be practice complete. So practice session over here at Fuji for the Gavra Racing Ginetta Evolution, with Lonnie rounding out first place here, about 6/10 away, with Dalavan and Marco in third place, 2.3 seconds behind. To the top two, not separated by too much. But then Marco not being able to keep up with the pace, and the others can't keep up with the pace with Lonnie. But to wait and see what happens going into the qualifying. And if James is still here, I don't know if he is. I believe he is. Would you like to do your qualifying predictions.org?
Yeah, I can, and then we'll have a question that just come through on the chat. Yes. Ooh, I think. Can we have the map up, if that's alright, just for this one? I think Dalavan's got the pole. I think Dalavan's got pole, Lonnie second, and David third, I'd say here.
Fair enough. So we'll have to wait and see if they can get it all in the top three there. But we'll have to wait and see. About 10-minute qualifying session here. But I don't know why, it looks on my screen, Macbib had a little bit of an incident in the pit lane where he hit the wall, and now all his bumpers shattered. I don't know what that's about.
Wait, whose car?
Macbib, his front headlights are a bit smashed.
No, mine looks fine.
It's pretty hard to tell. But we'll just run on board with Bezza at the moment. But we'll answer Billy O'Connor's question, and I'll ask this to you, James. What do you think on strategy tonight, James?
I've said this already, and I'll say it now. Now, no, normally in endurance racing, you have you have to do one pit stop. So if I'm saying correctly here tonight, I think Lonnie's quickly just to say on qualifying, Lonnie's waiting a long game, seeing what the times will be, and then come out. I think he is. Yeah, I think it'll be a one stop tonight. You'll be looking. If you were in real life, had to do a driver change, because they do in real life, I would say around 1 minute 10 to 15 minutes to go of the race. So you're looking like that would be where you do pit stops. That 20-minute gap there, where you would, I would say, do pit stops. And so and I'll do that as well tonight with fuel and tyres. I'd say that moment. So yeah, around the hour mark, I'd say they will pit and strategy-wise. And they'll fuel. Some drivers will fuel till the end of the race. Some drivers will fuel just half the race, and then do the rest. But it depends really what you want, I think.
Some drivers will be able to go. Some driver strategies might be able to go longer, because really, I mean, if you really think about it, and they're going to be in traffic, they're going to be pulled along by the front driver, so sometimes they'll just lower the fuel brakes and get towed along, and then they might have the harder tyres, but during the final stage of the race where they've pitted, they've gone for a softer compound and enough fuel to get to the end. It will work out, because at the end of the race you probably won't have too many drivers around. You want to be the fastest on track, so some people might go for that. Some people might just go for, I want to have medium tyres at the start or medium tyres at the end. I'm going to box for fuel right at the middle, because sometimes people can make up the time because they want to be lightest as possible during both stints. So really, that's just the best way to go for, an hour in. About 38 laps in, they'll want to be pitting for fuel and pitting for tyres, getting ready for the final stint of the race. Just running on board with Bezza at the moment. He's going through the technical section of Sector 3. He's about 14 seconds up on his best lap time overall, as Lonnie sets a 1 minute 32.3, Matt Bibb sets a 1 minute 35.9, and Marco sets a 1 minute 32.8, 5 tenths away from Lonnie in provisional pole position at the moment, with about 6 minutes remaining here. The Fuji Grand Prix circuit for the Ginetta Evolutions. Bezza will come across the line now, and he'll move up to 5th place, about 3 seconds behind Lonnie. So, I mean, it's quite a difference between Lonnie and the other drivers at the moment, isn't there? Unless the drivers are just trying to get used to these cars, really, because obviously we've moved to a different category of cars. It's just a bit weird now. It's just, I think the drivers think that. Don't you think? I mean,
Yep.
It's a bit, because this is a completely different car. The floor makes a lot more of the downforce than what it was before, and actually getting used to the cars. I mean, Lonnie most definitely has, Marco has, Donovan has. They've got used to the cars, and maybe some other people have been struggling with these cars.
Indeed. And just quickly to say back on your point with softs and mediums, Aguilera says hards and one stop if it's possible, I think. So there you go. But yeah, it is getting used to these cars, but they have had like 2 more weeks an extra week practice than they should have had, so they'll be fine.
Hopefully they will. Hopefully they'll give us a bit of racing. Just right on board with Mark at the minute, who does set a better lap time and is only 0.3 away now. He improved by about 0.2 of a second there, so he's only about 0.3 away from Lonnie at the moment. A 1:32.671, with Donovan only 0.5 away, also from provisional pole position as the event goes into the pit lane. Marco hasn't really had a great first sector, about 700ths down on his best lap time so far. With about 4 minutes remaining, I don't think they have to make a pit stop, so that means he's got to run until the end. He can still make a pit stop and get probably about a lap, or maybe even 2. But he'll probably want to finish this lap off depending on what his sector 2 time will be. Oh, and he's had a little bit of a spin there, and he goes straight back to the pit lane. As we're just running on board with his teammate Lonnie, who's in currently first place. I do like that livery. It looks a little bit like the what was the multicolour one? Was that the Benetton from Formula 1? Or was that Menard? No. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. The green, yellow and red, I think it looks quite nice. But yeah, he's currently leading about 0.3 to his teammate Marco, with about 3.5 minutes remaining here at the Fuji circuit as he comes across the line about now. He doesn't improve on his time, I don't believe. No, he didn't. It looks like he's going to go for another run. We'll just have a look at where his teammate is. His teammate's going around the long right-hander in sector 2. I really need to get a track map up. In sector 1, yeah, it's sector 2, isn't it? Yeah, sector 2, very sorry. And that corner, actually, I don't know if, so you know 130R, the very famous corner in Japan. Well, this track, this track's in Japan. Yes, it is. That corner, the long right-hander, is actually called the 100R corner, so quite interesting there that they keep on calling their corners depending on the radius. That's yeah, kind of cool, I think. They've done that. It's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Marco's going to go for another lap as the driver just heads on a little bit wide out of the final corner there. Is he going to make another lap, or is he going to pit? No, he's not. He's just going over the white line for absolutely no reason. So let's ride on board. James, would you like to ride on board with the lap?
Go on then.
Talk us through.
Right, so coming into the corner here, you go close to the inside curb as you can. Now, don't actually clip the curb, because I will tell you now, I have been here and I've raced quitted once. I've been raced here. Well, I didn't actually race here, but anyway, clip the curb on the inside there. Go out to the outside curb, but don't go too wide. Oh, and he's off. But anyway, carry on with the lap if you can. Into this next little section here, which is a very tight corner. This one is. Clip the curb on the inside. It's like a 90-degree corner, kind of, that one. Well, nearly. Then come down here to the massive braking zone where you have to think of your braking point in a second. Keep sweeping around the corner. We're going to that corner now. Keep sweeping around the corner, clip the curbs, but go very slowly here. And this is the tightest corner in possible racing ever, I would say. As now you carry on down this next bit straight into the sector 3 now. He's down on his lap because of that off excursion, and that can cost you at least about half a second there, and it cost him there dearly, it did. And as I just say, clip each curb, go as quick as you can. You'll be about 3rd or 4th gear right now, up to about 5th, then brake now, down to about 2nd or 3rd gear, and then you have, I mean, one of the longest straights in racing history, this, as you power down now the long straight here to the line. So you could rectify it with the last sector being a good last sector, but you just that middle sector there I think is the downfall, and then across the line he will come any second now, and he will set a lap which is 1.66 seconds slower. There he will, but yeah, it's as he makes another mistake in sector corner 1.
Thank you very much, James, for the lap of Fuji. This is going to be his final lap here of the session. He's only had to start another one with the amount of time that's left, about 7 seconds. He is up on his actual best lap time delta, so even though he not very good turn 1, he's still up. Dalavan is also in the pits, so he will not be setting another lap time. He's about 2/10 away from Lonnie, so Lonnie's pole position is in danger. Unfortunately, it isn't anymore, but hopefully Marco can pressure Lonnie into a provisional pole position. Boston Row also improved his time, about 4/10 away from Lonnie. Donovan has gone into the pits. Is that David? Sorry. David has gone into the pits, about 7/10 behind. Bezza with only 8/10 behind, so the top 6 are now separated by 8/10. In practice, the top 8 was separated by about 3 seconds. Everyone's got a little bit faster as the track has probably evolved and they've got a little more used to these cars. So Marco, one of the final drivers on the track, comes around the final corner, bolting it down the straight. Whether he can actually get to the provisional pole position here, as Lonnie is still out the track, also putting in probably his fastest lap. Marco comes across the line. Ooh, only 1/10 away from Lonnie's pole position. But it does look like even if Lonnie finishes off the lap is faster, it looks like he is going to be on pole position. So Lonnie, for the Gavra Racing Ginetta Evolution NMP3 class, has taken pole position here in Fuji. And what a qualifying session there. The top 3 is separated only by 2/10, and the top 2 is only separated by 1/2 So what a qualifying session there, James, right at the end, right at the death.
Yeah, what a session it was. So it makes it the HLB team have got the front row here, Lonnie, then it's Marquez, Dalavan, Boston Row and David, and I can't believe that. You can just see it now on the screen right here, everybody. From first all the way down to 6th is 8/10. 0.8. That just shows you how quick the drivers got again in qualifying. And yeah, it should be interesting to see. And for the race, wow, you've got to look at it and say who's going to play the cards right. And I think it will be definitely the top 3 today. I think I'm going for it. I'm going to be a bold statement here. And I know I can't really say bold statements here, but I'm going to say that it's going to be a battle between the top 3 and David here for the win.
It's going to be a pretty bold one, but we've got 2 hours of Fuji here. Anything can happen in this race. The crowd's there on the right hand side, and you can just see the cars all perfectly lined up, ready for the race start here. It's going to be an interesting one. HBH Racing with David and Boston Row are leading the championship at the moment, but they're currently 4th and 5th in qualifying. Hopefully they can challenge the front pack. Lonnie and Marco, the 1-2 positions in qualifying, is only 1 point behind, so hopefully they can get away very quickly, and hopefully they can get the 1-2 finish here that they most desperately need for this championship.
Indeed.
This is going to be an interesting race. People can put in their predictions for this race, if they want to, in the comment section below. James will be doing the driver of the day in the final 5 minutes of the race, so looking forward to that. And also, people can also name their driver of the day.
Indeed, yeah, because we do 2 drivers of the day. If you didn't know, we do a comments one and comms box, which is my driver of the day. So, yeah.
Yes, we do. I think we've got about 30 seconds until the lights start to come on. I'm just going to set up that to wait and see, but yeah, about 20 seconds until we go green. As Thomas Vieira, the two stops still a good strategy, like a more aggressive. It is a good strategy. You're lighter on fuel, you've got fresher tyres. It is a better strategy.
Here we go
but,
then.
We got to be fighting way through the field, and here we go. We got the 3 red lights, and we have the green lights, and it's go, go, go. Lonnie gets off to a decent start. Marco trying to capitalise on him. I think Dalavin's also right behind in the slipstream of 2 drivers. Marco comes across Lonnie and tries to hit him. Lonnie is back down the field. He's down now into 3rd place. Gets back into 2nd place. A little bit of barging going through turn 1 there. Lonnie also hit his teammate and almost crashed out them 2. But they go through turn, I believe it's 2, unless it was 3. Turn 3, yes, the Coca-Cola corner. Going up to 100 of turn 4 and turn 5, heading up to the hairpin of 6 with a 1-2, but the leader has changed from the pole position. Lonnie losing out right at the start. I think it was the 2nd phase that he wasn't too good at, got a little bit too much wheel spin there. And Boston Rowe is staying, making himself up into 3rd place with, I believe his teammate of Boston Rowe has fallen back just a little bit. David, no, he is actually kept up and going to 4th. He's now challenging the 3rd place at the moment, I believe. Boston managed to get a tiny bit of a gap, but not by much. It definitely is a slipstream range, but David's under pressure currently from Roberto De Rio. Sorry if we butcher names on this channel, but we're trying our very best as Englishmen.
We'll just call him
definitely in the
Rubit.
slipstream range.
Yeah, and just to say, Lonnie has a 1-second penalty already. So Lonnie has cut a corner and has already been given a 1-second time penalty. So that's going to cost him at the end of the race as well. Here, with side by side, they go in the front here, and David past Boston Rowe with slipstream, and here goes Rubit down the inside of Boston Rowe as well, and he's done it. Lovely move there from Rubit. They're up past Boston Rowe. Boston Rowe has lost 2 positions in literally about 300 metres.
Boston Rowe didn't really defend it there going into turn 1 there. Didn't really defend it too much because I think he just thinks it's a long ways ahead and might as well just not crash out the car instantly. But yes, he is down to 5th place while Roberta is trying to hunt down into 3rd place. Lonnie, as James said, does have a 1-second time penalty, which is not very good for him as he wants to be in this championship battle. But Marco currently is staying in 1st place. Marco isn't actually in. Is he in the? No, Marco is not in the championship battle at the moment, but wants to be. Is he?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing on my. There we go.
Yeah,
Marco, yes, he is.
Marco is currently 4th in the championship.
He's currently 4th. They want to make up some positions, but they want to most definitely focus on the constructors this year. And Lonnie's probably going to focus on his championship battle, taking to Dalavan and David, heading towards the final 3 races. It's getting quite tight up there. But we're about 1 lap in, 2 laps in, sorry, heading on to the 3rd lap now. We've got an hour and 56 minutes to go.
I've got to say this now. I think Marquez has to win next 2 races. As here he goes down the inside line now. Rubit now on David here. Has he done it? He has. Lovely move there. But just to say, I do think Marquez has to win the next 2 rounds and hope that the top 3 do not do anything good, or do not come in, say, the top 4 or top 6. If they don't come in the top 6, I presume he's got the championship catch up with, and he has 2 more rounds then to do to try and capitalise on that. But I don't think he will otherwise.
Well, for David isn't really going too well at the moment as he's down into 4th, getting passed by Roberto. Roberto's very good into that turn 1 leg, getting 2 overtakes and now up into the podium positions here and separated. It gives a little bit of a bit of breathing room now. Obviously, he's got quite a lot of breathing room, but he wants to try and catch up to his teammate and get the points he needs. Teammate to get out of the way because he's got a drivers' construction championship that he needs to win, but they have a constructors championship they need to win as well, so they definitely need this 1-2 as they're only 1 point away from the lead now, so they most definitely need this to pull away from HBH Racing, which consists of David and Boston Rowe, which them 2 have had some pretty decent results this season in the Ginetta Evolution. But this straight is quite long and many drivers have a big slipstream advantage. But I'm just looking at the times from Lonnie, and he's not really gaining
There
as
goes
much as I
David.
would say Roberto. As David overtakes Roberto on the straight, Roberto does come back at him for third place. There's a bit twitchy going to turn 1, and David does overtake him. So that straight is most definitely providing quite a lot of action. As Roberto wants to go for a move, probably down the inside of turn 3 here, but doesn't quite make it. So we're just riding on board with Roberto at the moment on the 130. Not the 130, the 100R. A lovely corner. It's quite tricky to get right in these cars, and you can just see he's taking a wider line, but goes out a little bit wide too much. Doesn't matter, really. It's just depending on how fast you get onto that traction, how much you get onto that throttle. So not doing too bad at the moment. In 4th place, hopefully you can catch up back to David and keep within that slipstream, because that's what's really overpowering on that straight. It's really what making the overtaking opportunities happen in this race, is that straight. These corners aren't really helping too much with the loss of downforce of the driver behind. But we're just going to ride on board. As I think that's Marco, he lost the rear end of his car going into, I believe that is turn 15 of Ned's. But I think he did you see, or because I was concentrating on Ruben and David, I think just lost his rear, didn't he?
Just as you got on board with Lonnie, he was going into the 3rd to last corner, and you know sometimes when you go wide, and you just sometimes the back end just twitches a little bit when you go wide. It did that. It did that. So.
Thank you very much, James. I didn't see this, so thank you very much for that. Marco does get past Lonnie. As Lonnie went a little bit too deep into that corner, you can. I don't know if you saw James, but he locked up a little bit. You can see a little bit of dust going, or a little bit of smoke. Yeah. A little bit, no, not too much, but quite easy. So Marco's doing really well. I mean, we saw Lonnie doing really well in the practice and in the qualifying, and now Marco is completely smacking him across the face.
He is indeed. There is a battle lower down the order if you want that, because Dalavan just got past Rubit, or whatever you want to call him today. So well done to Dalavan for that. As the battle that is kind of going on is between Petbiv and Siventa down in 8th position. But yeah, as I said, I still can't believe that Rubit has not done well today. But if you want to know why Rubit's here, and he's been here for the last couple of rounds, basically Petbiv. His teammates apparently should be Joe Black, but Rubit's Joe Black's replacement for a race today, I think. So there you go. I think.
So he's been a replacement for the last few races.
Can we just check Akagram quickly, who's in 12, what colour car he's in? Because then we can work. Yeah, Akagram today has another teammate today. I think Dalavan has got the same car as him today. So yeah, Dalavan in the same car kind of scheme, but not really in the same scheme, if that makes sense.
So the event is trying to get into the slipstream now. He set his best lap so far, braking for turn 1 to see if he can gain a little bit more on Petbib.
I think,
as you can see, he gained a lot during turn 1 there, didn't he?
He did indeed. There.
Not able to keep the slipstream there.
Nope. Just to say quickly before this battle actually does hit, and Lonnie's just got Oh, Mark, he's made a mistake. He must have gone around. He has. Him and Rubid, I think, went around, and they touched, I think, as he tried to get back onto circuit there, so that's why he went off. Just to quickly say to everyone who's wondering, Boston Row is last, and I think he's made a pit stop already, so...
No, I don't think he... unless he lost that much time, I don't know. Did he lose that amount of time? I don't know.
I think he definitely had a pit stop here, Boston. So yeah, if you're wondering, Boston's had a pit stop or he spun. We sadly didn't see it because we're watching a battle for like third or fourth. So
yeah, David into second place now. He was 5th at one point, so he moved up the field quite a bit with Marco, and I believe Roberto was collected a little bit with Marco's spin. I believe it was. We don't actually know for sure if Lonnie was anything to do with it, but I think David, believe that Roberto was part of the incident. David getting a little bit of pressure from the car behind of Dalavan. These three drivers in the top three right now, all for a championship. With David leaving in Dalavan in second and Lonnie in third, with only about a gap point of about 30 points of the top three. So these three positions really do matter in the final closing of this season. Only 3 races after this.
And
So
it
really does count on what we have.
So yeah, it does. Just quick to say, Rubid and Make or Mark has both got a penalty now as well. After today, we go to Le Mans, which is going to be quality, Silverstone, and then Spa. So 4 great rounds.
It's going to be. It's a very good round because I like Le Mans. Silverstone is obviously quite a heritage track, and Spa is obviously one of the best tracks in the world. So it should be great fun with the LMP3 cars with this much downforce.
You should indeed. Yeah, to everyone who is watching, as we say. So we're just going to. Thomas says again, if the top 2 guys keep fighting all the race, they're gonna be catched. I think going to be catched. I think. So basically, what he meant was they're going to be catched. But I think they were battling so hard that Marky's just got a little bit of maybe a twitch on, went wide. He hit Rubid somehow, and Rubid got a penalty. So can we just check what penalties they are quickly, if that's all right?
Yeah.
So it's 3 seconds for Lonnie, 2 seconds for Rubid, and 2 seconds for Mark or Make there. So, interesting. Anyway.
Very interesting.
I'll let you carry on. I'll be
Quite
back in 1 second.
Very, very easy to corner cut around this track here. We're only about 12 minutes in so far, and quite a lot of penalties there. Only racking over about 7 seconds worth of penalties, so not very good there from the drivers. But so far, Lonnie has extended his lead up to 3.3 seconds now. Now he's in the sector 2. David and Dalavan, as they all are, they're all fighting for a championship, but this is not the championship order. Lonnie's actually in third with David. Actually in first, so this is most definitely points that they most definitely need for the final 3 races, as James just did say. The final 3 races are Le Mans, Silverstone GP, and the Spa-Francorchamps. I don't believe they're all 2-hour races, but we'll have to check on that. The website has not been updated, unfortunately, but I have to check if they're 2-hour races or not. But let's have to wait and see. Let's have a look a little bit back here as this battle's coming down just a little bit pet bib, and Sia Venta still having a little bit of a battle here. Right board with Sia Venta on his roof here. We can get a great perspective of how fast he's really going to be. I mean, he's in the slipstream now, even though Pet Bib did get a bit better traction out of that corner, and he did get away faster. This slipstream is going to be really overpowering going turn 1, depending on what the downforce settings are for these two. Maybe Sia Venta's running a little bit higher downforce. That means he's going to be slower on the straights and much faster in the corners, which I think he is. And we go into this corner here, and you can just see how much he's gaining just on that corner alone. And he's not going to slipstream because he doesn't want to he doesn't want to do a bump draft really. But he's probably the tactic you can use is that you can literally just stay in the toe of the driver in front and then lower your fuel mix, which is a good tactic for some races, but can be a very good one here. Saving fuel is quite common and quite a good idea because you might be lighter during the end stint where you can put in less fuel if you want to, but we'll have to wait and see. But we've still got an hour and 46 minutes remaining, so there's a long way and a lot of fuel saving to go. But we'll have to wait. Oh, as Sia Venta goes right into the rear of that, it's always quite a easy thing to do where someone's braking right in front of you and you can take the corner just a little bit faster. I don't know if that's caused any damage to either car, which right on board trackside here, and I don't believe they've had any problems with the front bumper or Pet Bib's rear bumper. But I think they're all fine for the moment. We're just right on board with Sia Venta for the moment, as this really is the only battle that's coming up. But they're only separated by 7/10, but you can just, I don't know if people were watching on last lap, Steve Venter was most definitely a lot closer to Pet Bib last time. I think it was only like 3/10 behind. This time about a second at the end of the straight, so a little bit of a difference there, but Steve Venter's quite good into this turn one. He can obviously gain a lot of time. I mean, he gained about a 10th into the first corner. Pet Bib did get a better traction at that corner, a better straight line speed. Trying ball with Bezza at the moment. Marco has made up 2 positions, has gone up to 3rd place now, with Bezza trying to chase down David. David's a little bit of a spin somewhere, and unfortunately we didn't get to see that. Let's have a look at a few comments. So Brian says, steady as she goes, everyone, a long way to go. It is a very long way to go so far. We're estimating around about 78 laps, about 60 laps left in this race here today, so it's a long way. So Jukebox here, hi Jukebox, such great cars. Yes, it is. They are quite good cars. I mean, a lot of the floor makes a lot of the downforce on these cars. But yeah, I don't believe David is actually coming to the pits very early, actually. Very early for pit stop. I wonder if he's got an issue or not. We'll be able to see from the pit lane. That's quite weird, that. Unless he's got a suspension issue where he may have hit one of the curbs too hard.
Yeah, he does have a problem. I'm back, by the way, and his front light is smashed. That's why he's in.
Ah yes, he's getting, I think, got a little bit of fuel, but that's about it. No tyre change. I think, as you say, a little bit of a repair job there, but he's all the way down into 11th place, and this is not going to be good for his championship. He is leading the Ginetta Evolution Championship at the moment, but unfortunately, at the moment, he's actually going to lose it, which is not good stuff for him at all. But with now 42 minutes remaining, he's got a long way to go until anything can really happen. But Donovan in 2nd place, about 4.5 seconds away from the leader of Lonnie HLB, which had a fantastic race today. Had a little bit of argy-bargy with a bit of Marco right at the start of the race, as them two started on the front row. But Marco has fallen back just a little bit after a little spin that he had on, I believe it was about lap 6. But not so bad so far. It's been a good race for the start, and I believe, was that David just coming out? Yes, it is. So David is a lap down now. Yes, he is. David is a lap down from the leader. It's quite interesting. Oh shit. James, are you back?
Yeah, I'm just looking quickly something, because I think we've lost a driver, by the way, since I've been gone. So I'm just racking my brain to see who it is. So we have Lonnie still, we have David, we have Boston Row, we have Bezza. Do we have Bezza still? Yeah. Akagram. No, we've lost Akagram. No, we haven't.
Oh.
Oh, no. I don't know who it is then. Oh, we've lost Rubid. There we go. We've lost Rubid. There we go.
He's moved up to 5th place now, so he's having a decent race here today.
Oh, we've lost. Yeah, there we go. Rubid's left the session. There we go. He just says it on the bottom of the screen. So there we go.
Yeah, we're better. I mean, I really do like that monster livery. I don't know about you, James. That little monster livery looks actually really good.
It does. It's a very nice livery. Very nice.
So we've got a few comments just for the minute, as there's no real battles going on. Videocon, what do you think about Project Cars 3 trailer, and what cars do you want to see? So James, I'll ask you the question. So what do you think about Project Cars 3 trailer?
We'll touch on this very quickly. Right, I've got a lot to go. I wish I did a YouTube video on it now, talking about it on my own channel, but I didn't. But basically, the problem with it, it looks more like an arcadey style game / Forza, where you can go into quickly. You can go in and get like different paint jobs on your car and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really like it like that respect. And but at the same time, there are better circuits coming in. So we have had a hint, and the only circuit now we know that's officially added into the game is the Interlagos circuit in Brazil. So
that is a very historic circuit with F1 and a few championship series. It's a really good circuit to have in the game.
What about you?
Personally, I actually really like the Project Cars 3. I know it's an arcade, and I don't actually like arcade games. When Grid was released with the input, what was it, about a year ago now? I didn't really like it because I don't really like grid games.
Yeah, it came out
grid
on
games
Christmas.
back on the Xbox 360 was good, but I think because it's Project Cars 3, they do have a good handling model. I think it looks good. I personally, as a sim racer, I think it is a good game, and I will enjoy it. But obviously, I get why some other people don't like it because it isn't really as serious anymore. Isn't really a serious sim, which I think people really wanted coming to the Project Cars 3 lineup. But obviously, everyone has the different opinions. I like it. And James, what cars would you like to see in the brand new Project Cars 3 as well?
Yeah. Let me just quickly have a look what somebody said, because somebody just put a comment in, but I can't read it because I can't see it. There it is. Yeah, I think if we do cars, what I would like to see in it would be maybe, this is crazy, maybe like maybe like a second series, if that makes sense. So you've got the in the game, you've got the Indy cars, you've got the V8 Super Cup car in Project Cars 2, and you've got like F1 style cars. Maybe have like an F2 style car and a Le Mans and a like IndyCar Light Series car, something like that. Or maybe go for like a championship which is not in the game yet, maybe like minis, or maybe go for like a championship that isn't definitely in the game. And I think like should be like British touring cars kind of styles, or maybe go for like, I'm trying to think of a championship which is not in the, or go for like the TCR, British TCRs, like something like the TCRs or something would be good. But other than that, I think the game's done it already pretty well and got loads of cars. And as the comments are saying, somebody in the comments said, I hope Project Cars 3 and other future games put Estoril and Portimao, is that you say it? Portimao or Portimao? I'm tired of Portugal being left. Yeah, well, Portugal has one circuit in this game, but that's it.
Was it Algrave?
Yes, and that's where F1 are doing testing, yeah. I think next year.
I believe it is, I don't know. Can't remember now. But yeah, I mean, personally, I really like Project Cars 3. It's a good game. I can't say that. It looks like a good game. It looks like. And the cars I really want to see is really just more historic. So I would say more road cars, more road legal road cars, and more historic cars. I think, and then probably updated GT3s and GTEs. I think that'd be quite good. And a new version, a new handling model of the Indy cars, because the handling model for Indy cars in this game I don't really like.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried out different sims, Ultimate Ballista, Assetto Corsa. I tried out iRacing once, and they have a lot better. I mean, there's a mod and everything for other games, but for iRacing, the Indy cars are just really good. I really like them. I really like the handling model, but yeah. I just need to go for 1 minute, James, so you don't mind just taking it over quickly.
That's fine. If you could, just before you do go, I'm just trying to think of a battle we could look at, because then we could have a little bit. Can you go down to like Pet Biv, say, because there's kind of 4 seconds there. That'll be fine. There we go then. Right, see you in a second.
Thank you.
So to give you guys something that we've got here, so I've already pretty much probably lectured on this, but this is the key features that Project Cars 3 have already put out. And it's going to be interesting, as Pet Biv here, by the way, why we've gone to him is because he's 4.5 seconds, or well, he was 4.9, ahead of Akagram, and that's why we're looking there, because that was a close battle there. Just to say, the key things is, there's the first one is our own your journey, and it's pretty much looking like you can race, buy and own hundreds of cars, customize your car liveries, personalize your drivers, and upgrade cars with realistic performance parts. That looks alright. Then you've got the feel each moment section, which is full scalable assists for all scale levels. So there are, for example, new time model for convincing and fun handling. 24 hours cycle, so it's dynamic, all seasons and all weather racing. You've got stuff like that, and then you've got every win, earn every win, brand new deep. So basically, there's new career mode, battle your way from weekend warrior to race legend, stuff like that. So what they're trying to say here is it's going to be good. But then if you look at the key stuff here, I'm going to read this to Ethan because he's probably looked at this already, but I'll talk about it in a second. Over 200 elite brand race and road cars, over 140 global circuits, so that could be good because there's not many on this game. So 140 circuits will be good, but maybe you have to pay for them again, and that'll be just in mind. Make your car your own, and make new game modes as well. So there you go, just give you a little bit of fact here on the matter, but we'll talk to Ethan about that second. I'll repeat it again because Ethan's just come back and he hasn't heard me, so you know. So just to recap what I just said, everybody, race over 200 elite brand race and car and road cars, over 140 global tracks, make each car your own, and there's a new journey and new game modes, and a quick features again, just to quickly give you the quick features again. You can buy hundreds of cars, you can customise your liveries, you can customise your driver, you can upgrade cars with realistic performance parts. There is 24-hour cycles now, dynamic all seasons and dynamic all weather. New tyre model there is for fun handling and for convincing and or whatever, for good hand for that. And basically it's saying there's loads of speed, you've got sense of speed now, you've got good for controllers, enhanced AI, better graphics for PC, and just generally loads of good stuff now coming into the game. But as we can see in this race here, there's no really battles really, except this one I just said here, but it's gone down to 9 seconds, so it's not really a battle anymore. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting game coming out, but at the same time it didn't really show me what I wanted to see in the trailer. Yeah, I'm correct with that. I'm on you with that one, Thomas. I'm more excited as well for it should be a good game.
Yeah, that's very true from Thomas. I'm looking forward to Gran Turismo 7 because, I mean, what Gran Turismo Sport has done with, you know, going online and doing many more events and doing offline challenges and everything, I really like that, and having the customizability. So, you know, there's some liveries on there that are absolutely fantastic. There's some just like goofy or just like a proper livery, and it's actually really fun what Gran Turismo have done. And with the user base done, and going over to PlayStation 5 and possibly having Gran Turismo 7 maybe as a launch or maybe a 6-month game, which means it comes out in 6 months, would be absolutely brilliant, I think, because what is it going to be, 4K? Well, it's already 4K on the PlayStation Pro. It's going to be it's going to be a great game, I think. I can't really talk too much about it, but
it will.
It's going to be a really good game, and I think Project Cars 3, that would be a good game in its own way. Project Cars 2 was really good, and it's done really well for 3 years.
It has. And quickly onto the race that we're watching right now, because a few people may want to listen to this. David pitted earlier, by the way. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, David pitted earlier, and he's currently a lap down. So when you realistically look at that, I personally, as to relate to Jukebox's thing saying, I think pit stop strategies will play a part today. They will, because David was currently, I think, 4th, and is now like last and 12th. So it does show that they do make a big thing, pit stop strategies, on this race.
Really do. We're half an hour in, about 90 laps in. So it is going pretty well. The drivers will be thinking about strategy in about, half an hour's time, 20 minutes time. So think about whether they can go doing just a one stop, going from the hour mark going to the final minute mark. So yeah, it should be quite a good strategy there. Tell us what you think, Duke. What will happen? Do you think they'll go for one stop? Where everyone's tyres are going off and no one's really got any fuel and everyone's just trying to save. So yeah, well, we'll just run quick with the race leader. Just go through the order with Lonnie in first place on lap 20 now, going through the 100R turn 6. Dalavan in second, about 5.2 seconds away from the leader, Lonnie. Marco, the teammate of Lonnie, is about 16 seconds down the road from the leader. Better in fourth place. D in fifth place. Sixth place, AK Garam. Seventh place, Pet Bib, which is actually having a little battle with Duke Martin at the moment, so we'll just run on board with this. And he's gaining quite a fair bit now. I have to keep on board with this and go run on the roof camera, see how this is going to plan out. Is he going to make a move down the inside at turn 1? Turn 1 has been one of the biggest places, I think with about 7 overtakes going down turn 1 so far. He's not going to make a move there, it looks like he's going to wait until we can get a better chance there, so we have to keep on this battle while we just have a look through the comments real quickly. Billy O'Connor says, what other races do Gavra have, or what game you do?
I can answer if you want, but you can.
Yeah, if you want to, you can answer it.
We do Project. Oh, Duke Martin there went a bit wide into the corner there. Compromises his exit. But anyway, so back to what we're saying. So for Gavra Racing itself, we have we are now doing 3 games instead of 1. What we used to be doing. So we do Project Cars 2, F1 2019, and we do Gran Turismo Sport, or GT Sport if you want to call it that. We are trying to branch maybe onto maybe onto iRacing, I mean, as well. But not yet, we won't, because that's not coming up yet. But they're the games kind of we do. Cars, we have a Megane Cup on Project Cars. This one, the Ginetta Evolution, GT3s, Ferrari Cup kind of racing to do Ferraris on a tomorrow night with Dubox. We also have F1 cars on the F1 game, as we say, and that's about it at the moment. Oh, and GT Sport cars, like GT cars on there. And then Ethan, they've asked. Billy thinks it's going to pit stops in 25 minutes, I think, and new tyres and fuel.
Ooh, Pepper spins out of turn 1 and almost gets hit by Duke Martin. Sorry about that, but I had to butt in.
That's fine. Bottomo now is in the battle as well, and Jukebox thinks it will be some people will do 1, some will do 2. Fuel loads will be a big factor, and indeed they will, as Duke Martin goes off and Bottomo takes the position.
Very easy position there for Bottomo. It's cutting through the field. It was 12th place at one point, but now through the field, now to 7th place. Not too bad for him right there. Quite an easy overtake.
It was, indeed. Where are we? What are we looking at? Yeah, I do believe that. I'm going to be backing the pit stop strategies here. 2 to 3, I would say, maybe. Maybe you'll be looking at maybe 20 minutes pit stops wise. For your big runners, I mean, for your leaders. Maybe 20 minutes, I'd say, but I don't know, it's
up in the air at the moment.
Yeah.
This is, drivers have been trying to perfect their strategy for, 2 weeks now. So they've got all the information that they need. We as commentators don't really have the information we need. But it all depends on what the driver wants to do. Maybe they want to pit now, put on a set of maybe parts, and then go towards the end, maybe 20 minutes left, they'll decide, okay, we're going to put enough fuel in to finish the race, and we're going to put on soft tyres, and we're going to go guns blazing, and hopefully we can make up maybe a position instead of just losing another position to another driver who got the same idea. So it's all out as a mind game, really, and it just depends on what the drivers want to do. Some drivers will have a pit strategist, so probably get a friend who is very good at strategy on this game, will help them through the times, but sometimes they will just do them by themselves. So we'll just have to wait and see what the drivers or maybe the pit strategist want to do. But they've obviously been practicing it for 2 weeks, so they know what they're doing. Hopefully. But we've got about an hour and 24 minutes remaining in the race here. I mean, it's gone by quite quickly, but we've still got a long way to go. We're only on lap 23 here. I'm particularly at 78 laps, I believe. I think that's where we're going to end up, but obviously the time can change quite quickly. But nice and sunny here at Fuji. Don't get that often in Fuji.
No, you don't.
Really got to do. Yeah, a little bit of an incident early in the race with I think it was a suspension issue, and had to back because it didn't get along with the issue. Which I'll leave it for the moment. There's no real battles. But feel free to ask us as commentators any questions, any concerns that you have. We are here. We're currently watching a 2-hour race, so all questions will be absolutely fine. Oh, great. There you go. Billy, really excited about Formula 1 coming back. Really excited as well. I don't know about you, James, but I'm really excited about that. I can come back on the 5th of July in Austria.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. It should be a very good thing to watch. I think it's going to be interesting to see actually how the drivers are going to be affected by podiums and stuff, and how they're going to be affected by like no crowds there. Will it like, because I know back in karting days, right, and I know everyone says this, and even footballers do it, that you go back to your roots, there's probably only maybe 30 people watching you, all the parents, and that's it. So it's kind of going to be back like that.
That's true. I mean, the crowd does give you a bit of a morale boost, doesn't it? It gives you a bit more adrenaline, and it gives you a bit more excitement, and you want to do really well. So I think that will harm the drivers just a little bit. But obviously these drivers, such as Lewis Hamilton, have been driving for a very long time, and you know they've gotten used to situations where they have to just stay by themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I mean, we are very much in the blind spot, aren't we? We're very much blind of what the season's going to be like, because we think Racing Point's going to be really good, Ferrari might be lacking, but I mean, we had the testing back in February, and teams could have developed their cars so much more during we've had more than a winter break, so we're very much blind, and I really do like it. Got another question from Lucas Jones. How do you start comms, and why do you love it? Do you love doing the comms and racing?
You go first.
I'll let you. Okay, I'll answer this one. Commentary is. I started commentary about, I think it was 4 years ago. I've always loved racing, as a motorsport. And I used to do quite a lot of karting when I was younger, and I just really like it. So I decided, so I managed to find out I wasn't very good at competitive racing, that I would literally just start doing start commentating races, and I really do like it. The way I would start is literally just find racing leagues, maybe start off with Formula 1. That's probably the best bet to start with, Formula 1 leagues. And then just go from there. Do commentary, they might like you. I was doing a Formula 1 2018 commentary, and Gavra was watching the live stream at the time, and he literally just said to me, he said, "You're very good, I would like you to come and join my racing league and commentate." And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a try for a week. And I'm just trying to like it, and that's how you really start doing it, and you start to love it. What would be your explanation, James?
Pretty similar, really. I've been racing so this is how it used to be, right? And I know it sounds really sad, but here we go. Here it is. So what I used to do is basically, if you want to start comms and you don't want to start with like professionally, like, not professionally, but like we are, where you have an audience, you just want to do it on your own. I did it on my own, and it got views for some reason. Got like 10 or 11 views. What basically you do is, and I did this as there is one of the cars letting him pass the leader, but I went on Project Cars 1 and F1, and pretty much did like reruns of my races, if that makes sense. So I would race a race on Project Cars or F1, and then after the race I would go to the replay mode and I would stream the replay mode of the race and commentate over how I raced and how the bots raced in that race. This is kind of sad, I know.
No, it's fair enough. It's better for training, really.
On like a channel I don't use anymore. What I do, but not really. And got better on there. Then an F1 league picked me up and said, "Go, right, come join us." And then Gavra watched one of my races. I think it was the Hockenheim. Oh, I remember the races. Or Hockenheim 2 hours. I commentated on myself doing the 2 hours. I'm surprised. I got a penalty and disqualified. But anyway, and I did that, and it was really good fun. So Gavra picked me up and said you can race here, and then somebody else did as well. And that's how you do it. So what tips on commentary? I know we're not proper commentators like real life, where you have to give every detail of the car, pinpoint their accuracy. Just, I would say, as my headphone was at my ear, just talk normally. Just be a normal person. So just if you like commentating and you wanted to get in a career of or maybe just a passion of commentating on here, focus on yourself. So be normal, be natural, and so for example, right now you could just focus on a car and just explain what's happening in the race. The easy thing is to just imagine. I'm gonna be really boring here, but I know it's like radio as well. Imagine the person's blind, okay, and they can't see the race. Just give them what's happening. So like, or if they can see the race and they don't have, and they can see the race, but they want to like hear what's actually happening, then you commentate over the top, like actually explain it. It's very hard to explain how to commentate, like what you actually do. Basically, all it really is you're talking about what's going on. There we go. That's longer than to explain.
I think the best tip I can give people who want to start comms is to go and watch a professional who's getting paid to do it. I personally, that's what I use. And when you watch someone, you can see how you can hear what they're saying, how they're saying it, what they're saying, and how they address to the audience. I think that's the best way to teach yourself how to talk in a perspective of racing. I mean, like you watch the Formula One, and you can start to learn how he addresses the audience, how he does this and that. So I think it's a lot better way. But obviously, you literally just practice. I know what James was just about saying. He would drive himself. He would drive around a track, and he would commentate on what he did and what the bot was doing. And I think that's a really good way of just training and trying to speak quite fast and also quite for a long time. So yeah, it's just be yourself and try to learn from other people who are getting paid from it. Ben Wilson says, I just subbed. Thank you very much for just that's very much appreciative. And what was your best race you have watched and done comms? Is that real life race, or is that what we watched on a online perspective? So like on a game, or is it like the F1 2019 German Grand Prix or something like that? If you could answer that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, real life race you watched. James, you want to go first with that one? So what's your best race you've ever watched in a real life?
So there's so many I've watched on TV like that. One of the best endurance races, because we're doing endurance tonight, was the 2018, I think it was, Le Mans 24 Hours. And basically what happened was, it was coming across the start line was second, and just started down the Mulsanne Straight was first. But second was a lap down on your leader, so second really has, I would say, no option here, and it was the first ever time I think Toyota was going to win in that certain car, right? I think it was like the number 7 or something, and the number 7 went around the first hairpin, and as he was going like between, I think it was the second hairpin and the first hairpin and second hairpin, he like lost power completely, and like was going from 100 miles an hour down to like the maximum he was going down that straight was like 5 miles an hour, and the car was just going so slow. That was the best endurance I've seen, because it was like showing you that they underfueled the car, they had a problem with the car, they couldn't fix it, and he didn't finish the race, and the set person who was a lap down, the lap before the end, won it. And it was as well, coming to the end of the race, it was between Porsche, it was between Aston Martin and Corvette, and the Corvette had a puncture and the Aston Martin slipped past, and everyone cheered, and that was the best I saw with endurance racing. Real life watching at a circuit had to be, because I live near it, Cadwell Park, and going to watch a race there. It was, what's it called? The mini cup. Literally just seeing like 18 minis just go around Cadwell, and then they all like backed each other out. There was like no real leader. It was like all squabbling for the lead. There was like 5 for the lead all race. That was the best I've had. You?
Best watch on TV? It's got to be the 2019 F1 German Grand Prix. That was quite fun to watch. It always changed lead. Strategy was quite good, and Mercedes was basically last, so that's good cheer for me. In real life, must have been the 6 hours of Silverstone. That was quite a good race to watch as well, because actually both Toyotas got disqualified at the end for a illegal flaw. It was I think it was like 2 meters too wide, so they were disqualified from the race. So that was quite funny to watch. Alonso's face just drop right at the end, so that was quite a fun race to watch in real life. But yeah.
How best comms you've done?
Best comms I've done, I think, was 2018 Australian Grand Prix. The top 5 all fighting for about 22 laps. First place. It was just hectic. It really was. And then 5th place crashed out about 3 people, and then it was just a real battle for the last 2. And now Ben Wilson says the worst you've done.
Yeah. So back to the best one I've done, because I haven't said it. Best for Gavra, right? Mm-hmm. I think was Abu Dhabi at the start of the year, Dubai, sorry, at the start of the year.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was a really good one.
Ginetta Evolutions, where we had like, it was a very short circuit, and we had a 30-minute race, and it was like, the leader pretty much, we knew that there was going to be a top 3 battle, and they were all just squabbling away. Like, it was, I think it was the first round, absolutely brilliant, and I think that one. But the best race I've seen, and it's laughable. Okay, this is kind of laughable / embarrassing for so many drivers here. 2019, I'm in another league, do F1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was not this. Oh, what was it? Not this season just gone, but the season before. So we're in our second, because in both games you do 2 seasons, right? You do one which from like August till Christmas, and one from January till the end of the game, right? Well, our league does anyway. And it was the one between August and Christmas, and we were going up Spa. Oh my goodness me, you should have seen it, right? And it was amazing. Like, first lap, up Eau Rouge, went into Radion, 2 cars spun out and crashed out the race because they had like problems.
Mm-hmm.
Then we carry on the race, and we have a battle which is a 6-car battle, sorry. And
Yeah.
I think somebody just commented, but I can't see it. So if you did, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. Basically, and we will get back onto the race and talk about championships after we've talked about these questions here for you guys who want to talk about the race more. Going into corner, it was going up back of Rouge and Radion. There was a 6-car battle. It was a surprise. Second spun right in that train, and everyone behind him crashed out. That was the worst I think I've commentated on. Literally, we started with 18 drivers and we finished with like 9. Because like 6 or 7 crashed out at Rouge and Radion, and then the rest crashed out. Then like a few more crashed out on the circuit. That's the worst. Best I've commentated on. The most enjoyable race I've done was when was it? I think it was an F1 race again, like you saying, an F1 race where you couldn't really tell what the race was going to be until the last like couple of laps. It was so exciting. It was Brazil or somewhere like that. So yeah, very good. 1 second, guys. It's going to go blue screen for 2 seconds just so I can see if the comment actually popped up. It did. It was Thomas.
It was talking about Agaram spins in, and the I believe that's turn 6 of the hairpin. So he spun there a little bit. So rear end didn't be able to catch it. So right there.
Anyway, yeah. Worst comms then for you.
Worst comms. It was actually the next race in the Formula 1 2018. They all went turn 1, and obviously Bahrain turn 1 is not very good because there's a right hairpin, and literally just one guy just went all the way down the inside and took out everyone. Well, not everyone. There was about 6 drivers out, and then about 4 of them had damage, and then the slowest ones literally just went through and just like, yeah, we qualified at the back for a reason. And into the pits comes Agaram. Oh wait, no, that's just me. No, they just went on the wrong white line for a bit of defence. Sorry about that. They're not coming to the pits this lap, so they've still got about an hour and 7 minutes until the end of the race, so they might want to have a look at pitting very shortly. But yeah, not a very great race, really. Thomas, Agaram spins, and Boss Bro did hit his rear there. Boston's up to 5th place now, which is just crazy to think. He was 12th place, a lap down last. I mean, now he's up into 5th. He's doing really good at the moment. I did see Thomas's comment, and if he was just talking about, he wanted to do if you want to know if he was still playing F1 2019, he just wanted to do some 1v1s, which I thought was quite good.
Yeah.
I wrote one wrong. I was saying if both had advice for tips for league racing, my 12-year-old so do 50 laps of Hungary and spin in a row.
I would say if both have advice for tips. What tips for league racing? I'm going to give you some tips because I'm awful, right? I'm always qualifying last, but it doesn't matter because you can give you tips, and then we'll talk. That message was for my friend. Okay, some tips about racing. Just do your best, I would say.
Championship standings.
Yeah, I'll look at the championship standings in a second, and I'll give you the points and all that for you. But yeah, do your best. By the way, just to tell everybody, about 6 minutes to go until we'll see kind of pit stops happening. So about 6 minutes, then we'll get a few pit stops going because that's half race distance then, and we'll see pit stops then. But yeah, league racing is find a league that is up to your standards. So say, for example, at this circuit here, Fuji, right, in this car, right, you're doing every lap. You're doing every lap of this circuit. You're doing 142s, 143s, and you're consistently doing 142s, 143s. That's not blistering pace, because blistering pace around here is 130, 134s, 133s, 135s, right? In race pace, that is.
Yeah.
So I would say pick a league that you can go into that is good for you, And if you need to, put racing line on, because I always sometimes still use racing line, and I know that sounds like you shouldn't be doing it, but I do. But I only use it for corners, not for straights. Always focus and go around would be good. A bit of S's, a bit of nice stuff. And I would say, if anyone wants, if you want to get into racing and you just go to a league that is your ability. So if there's a league like Gavra which has an academy and different other things, go into that academy, try your best, and if you don't get approved to go into any other league, just keep going on that academy and keep till you've done well. And as well, just race passion. Like as I say, don't quit the league because you are going to lose the league, if that makes sense. Don't quit because you're going to finish, say there's 10 of you in the league, don't quit because you're going to finish 10th or 9th. Do your best you can, and that's what I do. Anyway, but yeah, I'm going to shut up for a minute and I'll do some writing about...
And also, if I just continue, I'll just do them.
You can. What, are you doing the you doing it now?
I'm doing now.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, it should be interesting to see, and that should be good. But here they come. Look, Akagram has, I think that's Marquis right behind him. I think.
Yeah, Marco's right behind Agaram.
Yeah, you can. I think if you're under 18, you can still do Gavra Academy. As I say, here I still think you could do a Gavra Academy. But yeah, as we said here, Marquis is right on the back of Akagram here. I think Marquis made a mistake, as we said, and Akagram here. So we have. By the way, we're going to talk to Ethan in a minute. We're going to give his thoughts in a minute because I'm going to be the lead commentator for a couple of minutes as he does this thing. Yes, you. I believe you can. If you can't, Thomas, then message or your friend, you and your friend, mate, message Jukebox or Gavra himself as side by side. They went for a second there, and Marquis could not make it through past Akagram. Here he can't. Sweeping around the outside now. He looks around the outside. Can't do anything there. Now there'll be the slipstream here. We will. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here before we hit an hour to go of racing. As here goes Akagram then. Is he coming into the pit lane? Akagram? No, he's not. But here goes Marquis now. Down the outside line. He's going to come here. He's going to go right down the outside here. Is he going to... He's going to do... I think he's going to do what he does. Late break him or cut across him as he breaks it. That could be what you do here as he does it. Lovely move. Through he goes. A little bit late breaking though. I think that's made him go a little bit wide. It did. But he keeps it going. Back on the throttle now he goes. Into P6 he goes there. Akagram down to P7. There he is. Just to tell you that there's only 3 drivers on the lead lap right now. They are Beza, Dalavan and Lonnie on the lead lap. They're the only 3. Here they are. But you can see it here, as I say. It always doesn't do it. But you can definitely see it here. It always is going to be good. Just to quickly give you an idea of how you can join Gavra, by the way. And I know a lot of you who are watching who are probably already in Gavra. And there's a few of you who are like, how do we join Gavra or how do we join League Racing? For Gavra, go down below to the links in the description to Gavra website, click on that and you can do it, or go on Twitter, Facebook, or go into the PS4 community which is called Gavra Racing, which is GAV, just our YouTube channel name. Go and click it on there and that'll be appreciated. Thank you whoever just subscribed, because we're up now to 889. We started today, by the way, Ethan, on 886, so we've gained about 4 subscribers. We do appreciate it.
We really do appreciate it. I'll just do the standings just for the moment, and I'll be there in about a minute time, and I'll give you the championship standings for the drivers.
As there we go, guys. It's around the hour mark, and DJD is in the pit lane. GJD is in the pit lane, and so is the Dalavan. I told you it would be an hour. We've smashed it. Oh, well, I've smashed it. I'll tell you that. Yeah, we have here. Can we just quickly go on Dalavan just for a second, just to see what he's doing in the pit lane, quick? Duke Martin, that'll be fine. There's a... Where's the battling?
Oh, where's David? Where's Dalavan?
Second in the stand. There, he's in the pit lane here. So I'm just checking what is happening with the cars. Like with fuel stats and stuff like that. Can we just quickly put the speedometer on quickly, just so I can see if the fuel is going good? Yeah, he's put 65 litres of fuel in the car, Dalavan, so he's going to go to the end now.
He's about 83. 83 has gone up to now and just updated.
It's gone up to, okay, yeah, so he's put 83 in, that's enough to get you to the end of the Grand Prix. It's going to be fine. Going to keep it going.
So he's aiming for one stop here. I mean, he's in quite a decent position in second place, so he's looking just to hold it out for second place.
Yeah, right now they're just putting a little bit of fuel in just now, they're just quickly repairing the car. The game now, after your pit stop will take about 10-20 seconds if you have repairs. Whatever it takes anyway to do repairs, it does that for you. Out comes Dalavan then of the pit lane. Dalavan here has a little bit, in comes Pet, so we are doing pit stops, as we say, we are doing pit stops here with an hour to go. What else do we have here?
I have got the championship standings for the moment for the current track, so
got them.
If I just get them here, so in first place he is still retaining his lead at the moment. David will be in first place with 261. Donovan will be in second place with 257, and Lonnie will be in first place with 256. Fourth place will be Marco with 181, and Boston will be 163 in fifth place. I've only done top 5 at the moment.
That's good.
That's very good. So hopefully that'll be quite interesting. Going towards the final 3 races here. I mean, the top 3 are separated by about, where is this? 5 points. So 5 points going into the final 3 rounds is going to be huge for the drivers. But obviously, I believe drivers will change position going towards the end of the race. So I will do another recount. I believe like 10 minutes remaining. I'll do another recount for. I believe who asked for them. Connor Gibson. I'll do a 10 minutes before the end of the race, and I'll do a championship standings for you, mate. But yeah, David only in first by about what was that? 4 points, and then 5 points is Lonnie behind. So close in the top 3.
Lonnie's in. Lonnie's in the pit. Sorry, just to say, Lonnie's in. So I think he's down to second now. No, he's not. Dalavan was a lap down. Never mind.
I don't know. Was he? Yeah, I think he was a lap. Unless he wasn't. Where is Dalavan?
He was.
Yeah, I think he was a lap down. Yeah. So Lonnie is into the pits now. I don't think he took any tyres. So
let's see if he's updating his fuel.
He obviously will take a little bit of fuel.
Oh, he only took a little bit. 68 litres now.
I think it will go up. I think it will go up a little bit.
There you go. 84 he's on now.
Yeah.
Quick question to ask.
84.9.
A quick question to ask you. Connor Gibson says Le Mans will be good next round. It will. Amazing. That should be a brilliant circuit to go to. And then he just asked, you two watching the 24 Hours of Le Mans virtual edition this weekend?
Yeah, I will be. I'll be watching from. I believe Jimmy Bullben's doing it, so I'll be watching it from his perspective. But yeah, I will be watching the 24 Hours of Virtual Grand Prix, because that is going to be a great race to watch, and 24 hours is a long time. But I think just personally, I think virtually it's been a lot better. I mean, obviously, I would love real life racing, but I think for like commentary teams and battles, yeah, I mean, there's been a lot better with every single car in the virtual GP of the Formula 1 all being the same performance. It really does matter about the driver, so I think that's been a lot better.
Can we
for us,
go to
George
second?
Russell actually being able to win races.
Yeah, quick, because Dalavan is because Mark Keys has closed up to Dalavan here. There he is in the background, so that's the gap now from second to third, just saying this race. But yeah, I'll be happy to see it. There's loads of things here. Do you know Sky? I think Sky are producing it like on their channels, Sky are, and I think it's going to be on YouTube as well. So
yeah, I believe so.
And
I
I
should
will
be going for 1 minute.
It will indeed. I think it'll be on YouTube as well, and I think they start around 1 or 2 UK time, and they will be racing from 1 PM or 2 PM UK time all the way until 1 PM, 2 PM on the Sunday. And I'll be watching most of it, of course. I'll be watching until about 1 or 2 AM in the morning, and then I'll be going to bed. And then the rest is off. There goes Pet Biv, I think that is. And that's not good to see there. It's not, but Dalavan here only has about 3 second gap over second the car behind. 2 seconds actually it is now over the car behind. And here it is, as you can see there in the foreground, just crossing the line. Well, you can see on the minimap, just crossing the line now goes Lonnie to start lap 41 of this Grand Prix of this endurance race. Sorry, with 55 minutes and 18 seconds to go here. Marquis hasn't made a pit stop yet, I don't think. So if Marquis wants to make a pit stop, he has to do it sooner rather than later. He does here. And an interesting fact about racing around this circuit: it's not a high deg circuit, so it's not high nutrition circuit. So it's not high tyres, it's not high fuel. It's quite low. I would call this low circuit anyway. Tyres, you only need one stop strategy on tyres here. You can do 1 hour tyres, 1 hour tyres, and for fuel wise, for an hour, I would say you're roughly looking for an hour around about 75 litres of fuel. For an hour, that's what I would use. But at the same time, you can go to like 80 something, 80 like 86 litres, and then go as quick as you can, like every lap, and then that will get you to the end. But 75 litres will get you to the end of the race, no matter what anyway. So you're looking good. That one, if you are new, guys, smash a like and hit the subscribe if you are. But yeah, it should be interesting. We still have 11 drivers in this race, so I think somebody's just left again. Who has left? Duke has left. Duke has left the session. No, he hasn't. He's still here. Is he? Yes, he is. Who has left there?
Hello, I'm back.
Hello, back. Boston. Ooh. Well, I never, everybody. Just to give you an idea, everybody, who just left session. We're down to 11. Boston Row has retired from the session. Boston Row has retired. Just to say to you, Ethan, Boston Row has retired.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That should be good. Yeah, so to give everybody an idea here of what's happening. Oh, we have a spinner in the foreground there. I think that's a lapped car anyway, but that is still a spin at the end of the day, and it's Bezer. Not very good to spin
Bezer
at
close there.
Yeah, I think he may have lost the position. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. But he nearly has. Look, because that car right behind him now is Akagram, who's looking quick now. Is. But yeah, as we were alluding to as you were gone, it's very easy around here. I would call this a low deg circuit, and I would call this a low attrition circuit, where the tyres can last you a long time, the fuel can last you a long time. You only need about 75 litres, I would say, of fuel around the circuit. So that's what I call this. I call this a low deg circuit, a low circuit, so a low tyre wear and a low fuel using circuit. This one.
Yeah.
And Bezer, and very quickly before I do nip off for a second, but Bezer, I think because of the spin, has got a little bit of damage. Not much, but a little bit that is making it noticeable. As you saw at the last couple of corners, he was twitching around the corners, so there is noticeable, I think, with the damage he's got here. Maybe pits this time. Yeah, he's coming in. Look, it looks like he's coming in. Oh no, he's not. It looks like he was maybe coming in. But somebody's coming in anyway, so.
Is it? Yeah, it's Matt. Yeah, he's coming. He's got quite a lot of damage to that front, and he might have actually suspension damage, what it looks like from the front left.
Yeah, but just to tell you that Boston Row has left the session. He's something wrong with Boston Row's car. They couldn't fix it properly, or it was taking too long. He decided, right, then I'm not going to do it anymore. So it's to give you the rundown. It's Lonnie, Dalavan, Mark, Siventa, GJD. And it's back to you for a second. Give me 1 second, everybody.
Thank you very much. Well, we got 51 minutes. We're currently 51 minutes into the race today. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and thank you very much, everyone, for keeping with us. I know it's been quite a long race, but we're getting there so far. But we have got 50 minutes remaining. Hopefully 15 minutes of enjoyable racing, as we're just watching Matt Bibb. He's going to get his car fixed there. It did look like it did have suspension damage in the end from the left front. But yeah, I mean, It's been quite a good race so far. We've had a nice conversation of questions. If anyone would like to ask us a question, a query about Gavra, or just a query about ourselves, please do feel to answer, and we are very much happy to answer your questions. Because it is a long race, we need something to do. But yeah, well, if people would like to go and follow such as social media, people like to go follow us on social media, it's all down in the description below. You can subscribe to the channel if you like to, and if you like to hit the like button, it really does mean a lot to me and James. We noticed that you're appreciative of what we do, and we just do it as a hobby, so thank you very much for that. But thank you very much for staying with us in this. Is quite a long race, but thank you very much for staying in this. With 49 minutes, quite a long time to go. Lap 44 for Lonnie there as the lead. He's got a gap of about 22 seconds. So he's doing quite good. Doing quite well for himself there on lap 44. As he just coming across the line to start his lap 45. No battles going on at the moment. I believe the closest one we have is between Donovan and Marco, and David and Bezos. So those are the close ones at the moment. It looks like David's coming to the pit lane right now. So he's going to make his stop now with 14 minutes to go. So he's done one quite well to extend this little stint here. So it's been quite good. I know we talked about this earlier, but I just want to know people's opinion on the Project Cars 3 trailer and news around about it. You don't really know too much about it. Go on to their Instagram. It tells them a lot. It tells the audience quite a lot of what their handling model's really going to be like, what it's really going to be like. Boston Rogan notification there that he has left the session. So people just gonna have a look on Instagram. You'll be able to find a lot. It's quite good. And now we've got 47 minutes of just watching drivers. Siventa comes to the pit lane. I believe this is his first stop of. He is not going to get time, but he is going to fuel. He's only on 20 litres, and then there you go, goes to 22 litres. So quite a long way still to go. Nice chill back, and it sounds like Jamie's back as well.
Yes, I am.
Good. Been quite a good race today, hasn't it, James?
It has. What I think we need, right, and I'll talk to you after the race about what I think we need, right? Okay, because I'm never allowed to talk about it, right? But I think we need... Actually, I can talk about it because it's nothing to do with future plans or anything. I think we need a third commentator, right? Do you know, what's the race? The game, not the game, the race. You know they did the... No, you know they did ACC, you know the game, Assetto Corsa Competition. They did the Blaz Payne GT series, they do that one with the British guy who commentates on it. Yep. Yeah, they have that guy called Ben who does like the pit stops and talks about all the pit stops happening and all the overtakes. We need somebody like that in ours.
Yep. They did it in Formula E, where they just had a third person just going. I mean, they technically do it also in Formula 1, such as Ted.
Oh, yeah.
And Simon and all that, they just go around the pit stop area, the garage and everything, just have a look what's going on down there if there's something important. So, I think a third commentator would be quite good, don't you think?
I do. And I think maybe have... and allow it, but that's all we're going to talk about that, because... We got told off last time for doing this.
Don't talk about it too much. So
But no,
far,
as-
unfortunately, I haven't got any battles.
we have one kind of battle, which is Dalavan and Marquis, pretty much. They're closing in. They're about 4 seconds away from each other, 3 to 4.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that they've been like that for about 6 laps now, so I don't think it's going to be brewing up much soon. So, at the moment, I think we just talk about whatever we want to talk about, really, and have a little bit of a chat with the viewers here. But yeah, what would you talk about?
The one thing I wanted to, well, I didn't want to really ask about anything, but have you heard the news about what's happening now with drivers in F1? Now, I know this is a really weird thing to talk about, but we'll hear this out. Pretty much every driver now is back in a car and race. So Lando Norris has been in an F3. I know that's not kind of F1 style standards with the all ahead and all that, but he's been in an F3. Lewis Hamilton's been in a 2018 F1 around Silverstone National, I think it was, or just Silverstone, we'll call it for now. Kevin Magnussen's been in a go-kart, and a few other drivers have been in cars as well. So we're kind of getting back to normal. And yesterday, by the way, if you didn't know, if you didn't read Twitter or Instagram or anything, today or yesterday was the first day of DTM testing, and guess who's going to be driving DTM this year?
Who?
Mr. Robert Kubica.
Oh.
So there you go. What they're basically doing, like, because he has like a bad arm or bad leg or something because of the accident he had, they give him like some kind of help with one side of the car, but not like what's his name? Not like Billy Munger, whatever his name is. Not like him, because he has to have help because his leg's pretty much paralysed. But they give him a little bit of help on the car, so it's a little bit of help, but his legs still work and his hand still works. But yeah, he's in the car this year. He's in an Audi this year, so let's see what happens there with that. But anyway, that's enough about that. Anything you want to talk about?
I can't really think, really. I mean, we could talk about Formula 1 2020, the game that's coming out in less than a month now. That looks really good. I don't know if you're going to be getting it. I most definitely am. I'm going to get I'm going to get 3-day early access for it.
I hate it though. I hate this whole thing coming up.
What do you hate?
I hate how I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I hate, as just quickly just checking here if we've got any battles, because there were 2 cars on circuit together here, and I want to know if they are battling here. They are. Acrogram and Ciaventa are battling. Sorry, just to say to butt in there, but Acrogram and Ciaventa, look, they're right together. I know that, but yeah, and looking like they could overtake each other. But I'm annoyed, and I'll get because Competition is coming onto PlayStation, right? Project Cars 3 is coming out in the summer, and so is F1. So I've got 3 games I want to buy, and that'd be £90 I have to spend on games. £90.
Well, a lot more than that, won't it be? Because instead of Competition, I think it's 35 they're wanting.
Anyway, so say £30. So say about 30, 35, right? So I have to spend altogether around about £110 on games. For 3 games.
Mental, yeah.
Yeah, when you think about it, when I want all 3 as well, and at the same time, people want me to get a game called Wreckfest.
Yeah.
And my friend wants me to buy iRacing.
Yeah, iRacing. I went into racing once on my own account, and that was a bad idea because, I mean, iRacing is obviously it's one of the leading sim racing games in it, but I think it works out. I need to spend like 350 just to, have. I mean, I think it's about 50 quid to have all the track, the cars, and then you still need to pay a monthly subscription, a yearly subscription, depending on which one you go for. Which I think is just bonkers, really. Like, I wish you could just have the game, and then maybe. I don't really know. It's a bit. I think for iRacing, I wish they did a little bit differently, but obviously that's me. That's my opinion. But yeah, James, you still there?
Mm-hmm. Just reading something in the comments, so. So you go with the battle here on circuit.
Gavra's trying to defend himself from the event for 6th place here at the moment. In the slipstream, right? Focusing this is the slipstream. Oh, he's gonna go close to the like. When they hit, Gavra's in the wall. See event gave him a right shunt, and Gavra's right into the wall, and he's slowed right down, and he's now getting to clutch Martin, I believe that is. So the eventer, that'll probably get looked out by the stewards, and I don't know what's gonna happen for that.
I think it was a racing incident in the sorts, because I'm just watching it back on the stream now, right? So they go side by side. It's Acrogram is on the outside, Event's on the inside. Yes, the Eventer does a little bit do a twitch, and he twitches over to the outside line a little bit, to the outside the corner, just a tiny twitch, which clips Acrogram. That spins him around and into the barrier. It's very harsh to say, but I still think it's an racing incident at the end of the day, but could be Acrogram's Eventer's fault, I mean. But yeah, we do have a question, by the way. We have a couple of questions here, so do you want me to go through them, or do you want me to just not? Oh, by the way, we have a battle up the line, but we have a battle there. Look, it says looks like it's a battle on the between second and third. Don't think it will be, but do you want to see it? No, it's not second and third then. It's 7th and 8th. That the battle is that I was looking at. So.
It's Gavin and Duke Martin. Wait, it's confusing.
No, it's Acrogram and Duke.
Garam's on the straight, and Duke Martin's
in
the second.
Acrogram and Pet. It's Acrogram and Pet. Never mind. Acrogram and Pet. Never mind. Yeah. Well, anyway, the question I've got here, we've got a couple of questions from a guy named Jack Williams. Hello, Jack. Thanks for subbing if you have, because thanks. What tracks do you want in PC3?
Pardon?
What tracks do you want in PC3? Project Cars 3.
Tracks?
Yes.
I think what would be a quite cool one is the 1950 version of Silverstone. That'd be kind of cool.
Do we not have that already?
I think we've got the I think it's the 1967 version, which I think is a little bit different.
And it's kind of like what it used to be like in the early 2000s as well. Yeah.
I would like Imola, but because Imola changed their turn 1. Fuck is that? They changed their turn 1.
Oh, by the way, just say GJD just got past Beza, by the way, so they go up into 4th.
It's 4th he goes. They changed their turn 1 into more of a chicane because of death center, and they thought that the corner was a little bit too dangerous. But yeah. But I would love to see a digital version of it. That'd be a great track for me. I don't really know. I mean, they got quite a lot of good tracks in the game, haven't they? Hanoi I would love to see, but obviously I think that's licensed. Formula 1, I don't actually know.
Sorry, excuse me on the sneeze there.
What in Portugal 3?
Well, for me, there's a few circuits. The F1 historic Australian Grand Prix, which was Adelaide, that street circuit. Beautiful that was, absolutely beautiful. Have that. Estoril, not Estoril. What's the circuit called? Kamari, the South America, the South African circuit. Sorry, is that how you say
Oh
it?
yeah.
Where they had where was one of the only races this year they had an endurance race. They had like I think it was like a 6 hours there, and it was like in February March time. And then the coronavirus hit. Sorry, the pandemic hit. I shouldn't really say that, but pandemic hit. We'll see that circuit. Maybe see Montreal in the game. Canada, because that's on iRacing already. So maybe on our game would be good. Sebring.
Montreal got licensed to once, but then it got more available for the type of other people.
Sebring. One or two.
Sebring.
Yeah.
Good.
One or two more ovals. One or two more ovals, and you're looking like Atlanta road course, and Mid Ohio's maybe say some of them, and maybe some like Charlotte and some other circuits like that. Maybe would be good. And if you're looking at circuits that aren't UK and Europe, maybe one circuit that we haven't got, which we should have, the Hungaroring, that one. Maybe I thought this. Maybe other circuits like the proper Suzuka, because I know they don't have license to that circuit at the moment, but proper Suzuka, and maybe have Phillip Island, and that's it.
Okay.
And then he asks, by the way, he asked then another question, so I'm going to read them out as well. Hello to everyone who is watching, still the 6 of you who are watching. Or what? It says, or you want to go to? I think it means what circuits do you want to go to? If you can go to the, say the world was back to normal.
All of them. That's my response to it. After this lockdown, I just want to go every single track at the moment.
Okay. For me, I want to go. I've got my okay. Before I die, I've got this already planned out. I want to go to watch one F1 circuit from a different circuit that's not in Britain. I want to go and watch the Nürburgring 24 hours and the Le Mans 24 hours, and I want to go to Sebring and watch the Sebring 12 hours, and go and go to Daytona as well. So there you go. And then he asks, he's asked about 4 or 5 questions. Favourite car in general and to commentate on.
Favourite car to commentate on?
And favourite cars like in general to. Like, I think he means car class. I think he means car class to comment on, and favourite car you like in real life. Like, oh, I like this car because it's this and this. And by the way, we do have a battle in the background, but I don't know if that's for position or not. I don't think so. Let me just check. It was, because they're all in yellow. So can you go to fourth? Because it's See Eventer. Can you quickly click on See Eventer?
I can.
Because he's just over. So See Eventer. Because See Eventer, I think, has just overtaken. Yeah, he has. He's just overtaken GJD again. Back up to fourth there he has. So there he goes. Past GJD again. And Bezza's trying to close up into that battle as well there. But yeah, what would you do for favourite car in general?
Is it race car or is it
You can
race
we'll go both.
road legal car?
Road and race. So road first.
Road and race. So I'll go for road first. My favourite road car is a Ferrari GT Colosso, and a favourite race car has got to be the Ferrari P3, which was the 1966 Le Mans 24-hour car.
Nice. By the way,
So
just
that's
say to everyone we have 31 minutes to go this race. 31 minutes and 56 seconds to go, and we're on the 56th lap, about to start 57th. We're on the 56th lap. We are this race. For me, a McLaren C12. I think it's what it's called. Is that what it's called? Or the
think so.
Or the McLaren P1. I would love to see that. They're road cars for you. Race car. I always say this, and I always say it's one of the favourite races I've seen ever. And it was. I know it's not a Ginetta kit car. I know it's not a big car, but it's a lovely race car. I went to Cadwell and there was like 20 of them blurting around like in a line. It was so fun to watch that. I know that's to watch, but that, or maybe looking, you are a bit boring. Well, not boring, you're not, because they're a brilliant car. A KTM GT4, absolutely brilliant car. I love that car. Love that car. Arctic memes GTA 13 says nice racing. Thank you very much, mate. If you are new here, if you do enjoy this, hit subscribe and hit the like and all that. But yeah, then he asks to commentate on, like, what class have you liked the most to commentate on, or car, if for that matter. And by the way, Marky's in the pit lane for his first pit stop. Marky's in for his first stop of the day. Or second.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is, yeah, first stop.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Your go. For a car to commentate on. So what's your favourite car to commentate on?
Favourite car to commentate on has got to be the F1 cars.
Okay.
Really. I mean, that's just plain simple, the F1 cars.
Okay. Is Dalavan going to keep second position here? Let's see if he does, because his guys he's battling with are heading into the last corner now. We'll just quickly go to Eventer here. By the way, if you didn't know, Eventer's in the last corner now. If you want to...
Yes. So
no, he's not.
So who was that?
Who was it? Oh, it's the leaders who's about to lap him. Wow. The leaders have lapped him.
Oh,
but
yeah,
there's a battle. There's a battle down here. There's a battle down into corner 1. I don't know who that is, but there's a battle into corner 1 now. So I have no idea who that is. But anyway, yeah. Okay, favourite car on Project Cars then to commentate on.
Okay, for LMP1s,
okay.
I think.
Okay, I've commented on quite a lot on here. Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah, you've got a lot more. Yeah, you go on. Yeah.
I've only been on Gavra for a little bit, so I've done. If I give you Gavra, what I've done: GT3, GTE, Ginetta Juniors, Ginetta GT4s, 3s, and these cars. Caterham kit cars, as I said, but they're from the Caterham. We did the Caterham Road Cars D-Class car. I've done the Audi Quattros, the nowadays Audi Quattros that are on the road cars, or the Audi Q something I think it's called, and I've done the Audi Quattros there. In other leagues, I've done IndyCar and all that. I think the best one I've seen on this game has to be what was it? Not Anna P1s, it wasn't. It was what was the car? Wait, I've got to look up the car list. Give me 2 seconds on that, and you can talk about something. I just had to Project Cars. That's fine. The cars. No. What's happened to you?
Should we back in 1 second?
Yes, to answer your question, if you wanted to go Project Cars 2 and the car on Project Cars 2, if I can find the Project Cars 2 game, I would find you the cars. Here we go. It looks like this. What? No, that's not it. Unbelievable. This is not done here.
So, is everything okay?
I'm curious. I've typed in Project Cars 2 cars and it doesn't come up. The website, the one I want, doesn't come up. Anyway, we'll have to go on Motorsport and see a screenshot probably of all of the cars on here. But the ones I like... Oh no, that's not it. I've got all the DLCs and everything, but... Give me 2 seconds, everybody. Let me just do this.
Haven't only separated by 6 hours. It's all going. JD Dem at the moment in 5th place. He's in a really good run today. Ciavento in 4th, Marco in 3rd, and Donovan in 2nd.
Oh, here we go.
Is still in 1st with an 18-second gap, which has been brought down a little bit.
It has indeed.
I think it was 2 seconds previously, but now it's been brought down to about 18, 17 seconds.
Yeah, so some of the best cars to comment on this game, for me personally, as we've found the cars now, the list. Has to be the historic, I've got to say on this game anyway, the historic cars. Now, I've commentated on a few historic championships, not many, but a few, and the one historic car that pops up to mind is the LMP 900s. They're not really that historic, but them kind of cars. And then you look at the same time, I really like commentating on. I don't even know what class it is. Let me go up here and have a look. I don't think these are historics. Probably like GTOs. Some of them as well. So yeah, anyway, back on with this race now, because we can stop talking about stuff like that, and we can now focus back on this race.
And JD Moan, the battle with Bez at the moment. Bez not being able to keep up in the straight line, but he's going to try and make a move going down to turn 1. He's forced JDM out wide, which means he didn't get on the power as quickly as he wanted to, and has gained about 2/10 there on JDM, so he's done really, really good there. But he's losing a little bit for the corner here. This corner is quite difficult, the 100R turn 6 here. I mean, you can get it wrong or you can get it right. Yeah, there's a much more chance if you get it wrong, really.
Indeed.
Jack Williams says, great race and great comms, guys. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated.
Yes, indeed.
Beza looking like he's going to have a little bit of a battle here. But he's able to keep up in the straight, really. JDM goes a little bit too wide, and he's now giving up position to Beza, which Beza just goes right through, up into 5th place. He's man of a move there, but JDM did outbrake himself right there. I think he just tried to protect that inside line, he just couldn't anymore. But that was good. That was a good little battle there. Lasted a few laps, and who is that? He's going down the inside. I think it's Marco and Lonnie that are just going to go through at the moment. I believe they're the 2 teammates. Yes, they are. So I believe Marco has been lapped by his teammate, and then just went through both together. There's 22 minutes remaining in the race. This is kind of the point where some drivers have some battles, some don't. Driver definitely isn't having a battle is Lonnie at the moment. He is quite closely followed by his teammate Marco there, which Marco is down in 3rd place. But what a race it has been by Lonnie.
Would you say that you would as Lonnie, right? I know he's a pretty comfortable here with, not really comfortable, but he's got a gap of 18 seconds, right? Would you let your teammate Marquis pass just so we can get back on the lead lap, or not?
I don't know, because it's a bit kind of a bit difficult, because I don't know if they're talking to each other. If they were, they'll probably be discussing what could be the possibility. But
because they're but one's Dutch and one's French, by the way, if you didn't know.
Yes, they are, aren't they? So they might be speaking completely different languages. But I mean, it's a bit difficult to tell, really.
Yeah, like,
because one could be fast in one sector and one could be fast on next. So
yeah,
it's a bit like sometimes it comes to a point where okay, you just overtake me if you're thinking faster than me.
Yeah, but they're not battling for position, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I think there's a battle in the background here. I think because DJD and are still together. I think with Beza here. I think they are. I think GJD and Beza are still together. I think. Is that right? No, that's not right.
2.3 seconds behind.
There was definitely somebody overtaking. Definitely somebody overtaking. Oh, just probably to get lapped. Probably. Yeah, it was. I've got a question come through. I don't think you've read it. From Henry Jones saying, "Hi guys, just subscribed. Thank you very much, mate. What have I missed, guys? You've not missed much, really. You've only missed three people leaving the session completely, and you've missed a few overtakes and a few good battles in this race, but not much really." And then he asks to ask you the question here, Ethan. He's asked the question: what do you do to prepare to do comms? So before you do a comms, right, or before you started comms, how did you prepare yourself to actually become a commentator, become like you are now, like this good? Not like, yeah, just go with that.
I would always write down notes of either the previous race or the race coming up. That's what I would always do, or the track. I would just write down notes so I can have something to bat myself on. You get what I mean?
Do you do that? Do you still do that?
Yeah, I do that. Yeah. Just write down notes.
Oh, into the pit lane comes a car. So I used to say, who's that? Just to give you an idea. Into the pit lane comes a car, and that is DJD. Yeah, I don't prepare much for commentary. So I know. By the way, just to say with point standings, everybody, I know this might seem a bit pedantic, and I know a lot of you hate this. So I'm gonna put points out here because I know there's somebody asked a question, and I know you're very rude, very not rude, but not. I wouldn't expect somebody to ask kind of a question like that. But so let me just quickly go current and go GT3 because that gives me the idea. It's every championship does it. So let me just very quickly go down here and go to not season stats where we've got calendar. Here we go down to the bottom here. Point system goes as follows, everybody. Everyone gets points in the race. So how it works is it goes 30 for the win, 24 for second, 21 for third, then it goes 18, 15, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to 16. So everyone gets a point in this race. Because Gavra said he wanted to do that. He wanted to give everyone a point. So just to give you a classification, it goes 6 for 7th. So it goes 6th for 11th, 7th for 10, 9th gets 8, 8th gets 9, and 7th gets 10. Then it goes 12 for 6th, 15 for 5th, 18 for 4th, then it goes 21, 24, 30. So there you go to whoever you are in the chat who wanted to know the point system there. There it is for you. And to ask you the question again, I don't prepare, okay? So I know that might sound stupid, right? But I come to this only knowing what the track information is, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, I come with knowing just what track information is, but I don't need to know the championship standings because I can quickly look them up. But I'm there, and I'm switched on straight away with how to commentate. I quickly word it off. So I know you probably need your notes so you can commentate like comfortably. I just commentate comfortably without even knowing anything. Like, I could sit here for 4 hours and commentate without doing anything. That's absolutely fine, Brian. And then he says as well, do you do notes for races? So I'm kind of thinking, what do you prepare? So how do you prepare? So Ethan, this is kind of like a podcast kind of style now. We're going to do for a second. How do you prepare with how did you prepare to become a commentator? Like, how did you practice? That's kind of the thing I want to know. Because you know how I practice, so.
I just watched people who get paid to do commentary. I just watch them and see how they address the audience, how they would talk, a bit of stuff like that. Just how other people did it, and just try and learn from them. Really, that's how I would train and prepare for stuff like this commentary.
Cool, nice. Yeah, what I did was I took my own spin on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna embarrass myself here, but let's do it. I'm going to, right, Ethan, play some commentary that I commentated on ages ago. Right, this might not be what Gavra want me to do, right?
No, they're probably like, no, please don't.
But I did
Don't do it.
a race ages ago, which was a Nürburgring GT3/GT4 race, right? Which I was in real life. Like, I raced in it, and then I commentated over the race. And I'm going to play you a clip of how I started the stream. So, just listen to this. This is from me from 3 years ago. And yeah, if you just hear the start of the race, actually, because that might be more interesting. Here we go. They all power away now. Up into the first corner they come here. It's Cadwell 5 into JB Legendary 5, sorry. Like, isn't that long really? I don't actually know how long they do that actually, so quickly just... It's free... This track is free. 2 abreast here into second here. So there you go, that's just me for you, that's my voice.
Yeah, I think because I was doing that, I think it's when you're like new to doing all this and doing all that, you're a bit more like shy in a way.
Oh, it's totally,
like,
totally
you don't
agree.
know what to expect.
Yeah. Because if you don't know, I haven't said this, and I don't really think you want me to be on a podcast or anything. But by the way, if you want to listen to a story about my life, or not about my life, but a story about how I got into commentating, a little bit about interesting stuff, I have a YouTube channel. Go and watch it over there. Cadwell5, my name on here. If you want to hear anything about me, but I shouldn't be plugging. But you probably don't know, right? Or you probably do, but you completely. I told you probably ages ago, but you completely forgot, right? I commentate in real life, right? For a radio station called Endeavour FM, right? And I'm part of a team which is me, another guy called James, and about 4 other people. Don't. Yeah. So I commentate like for 3 or 4 with 3 or 4 others. There's me, another guy called James, a guy called Paul, a guy called Martin, a guy called Ben, and a guy called Darren, right? And we commentate on a football team in Boston, in a place called Boston United, and we do like commentary for them. So I get free. Yeah, I know probably you do, but I get a free ticket to the game, and I commentate on that. And oh my goodness me, you should listen to my first ever comms on that, right? They would ask me a question like, how do you think the game's going? I literally said, I think the game's going good, and that's it. I would be so shit scared. I'm sorry for the language, but I'd be so scared. I was literally so scared.
Yeah, I think when you just develop like something that triggers in your head, it's just like, yeah, I can talk more comfortably now and with all the audience.
But how do I do it though? Because I knew that was going to be live on a radio station that had about 120 listeners and every hour gets about 120 listeners, right? So I knew we were getting like listeners, so I was scared. On YouTube, somehow, right, I don't get this right, and I know you maybe have the same thing, right? But if you're doing, say, a presentation or something in front of the class or something at school, right? Or you're doing like a speech in front of your year on a assembly, right? You get so scared, right? Or you're nervous, right? Because it's in front of your friends and that, right? But when I'm sitting in, and the same for me when I'm at commentary, I get scared. But when I'm sitting here in my room, as I probably think you are, it's just easier to do because you're in your house, in your own room, you're busy, you're fine, you easily do it. I just don't know how that works. I just don't know why I feel more comfortable. As Beza makes a little mistake there. I don't know why I'm more comfortable just doing it in my house.
Yeah, it just feels more natural, really.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Don't. You don't have to go to my channel, guys. But yeah, I'm trying to make a league. So if anyone wants to help me out with that league, then help me out. I'll be good. But yeah, no, I don't know why. But anyway. But yeah, we do have a battle on. We don't have any battles any moment. So if you've got any questions, Brian, anyone who's watching, any questions you want to ask us, then let us know. Interesting facts about Ethan, me, or anything like that. Ethan has a YouTube channel, hasn't uploaded before, so.
It's dead, basically.
Yeah, my channel. I have 213 subscribers, but I've uploaded like 500 videos because they're just. I don't know why I've uploaded 500, but yeah.
So, just talk to the audience. I'm just going to do the standings.
Okay. So we have. Quickly. How long do we have left? Oh, we have 9 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes remaining.
God, oh Christ! Right. 9 minutes to go, guys. Ethan, think of a driver in your head.
You're doing driver there, mate.
No, think of a driver in your head. Oh, into the pits comes a car. So he's car. Who is this then? Is it Dalavan? It looks like it might be actually. It might be one of the top. Yeah, it is. It's Dalavan. Oh my goodness me! This is going to be a massive thing here to say this here. But Dalavan in the pit lane. He's lost of lack of fuel. He didn't fuel the car for long enough. Poor old Dalavan. He only had 1.8 litres, 11.8 litres, sorry, as he came into the pits there.
So I don't think you're going to make it to the end there, but our other driver's going to be able to make it to the end. He's got 18. Donovan's now got 18. So he had a little bit of a fuel and then he would have made it, so... Yeah. So just underfueled the car just a little bit. So what I can tell you at the moment... is if Dalavan comes out in second, so we'll just see if he comes out in second place. Yes, he will. So the order now is Dalavan will be in first instead of David. Lonnie will be in second, and Dave will be in third. So David has dropped from first to third just because he's now in ninth. So he's lost a lot of time there, and he's now down to third place. So not a great result for him. Dalavan with 257, Lonnie with 256, and David with 254. So the top three are separated by 3 points, and I just need to go for 1 minute.
Indeed, it's been interesting to see the least today it has with all of these battles. It's been an interesting race, of course, because if you don't know, everyone has been racing today a lot of crazy stuff. Racing is crazy today. It's been a good race today. If you have enjoyed, of course, then of course smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already, because we only lost 2 drivers in this race, and it's been an absolutely quality race today. Thank you for all your support today. To everyone who normally watches Gavra, we have gained 4 subscribers today, so I want to thank everyone who subscribed today. It does mean appreciate a lot. It does here. As Lonnie Dalavan now crosses the line and starts lap number 71, and 7 minutes to go. So I would say we'll get about 76, 77 laps in this race, ladies and gentlemen. So about 77, 76, and it should be amazing. Here it should today. We do not have any battles at the moment. We didn't really talk about much today, except just a little bit talk about commentary as we always do. But if you ever want to be anything to do with this, links are in the description, guys, to the Gavra YouTube channel, to the Gavra community, not the link, just the name of the page, link to Twitter, link to Facebook, and of course link to the website as well, where you can sign up and get into league racing with Gavra and start your career off with league racing. I would say, if you want to know, here, I would say this, and I'm going to say it now. I think it goes AOR as kind of the top, and then Gavra. But Gavra is so close now to pop AOR, meaning to beat AOR. Here he is. It's so good as there's a spinner, and I think that's Pet Biv. Yeah, I think that might be Pet Biv there who just spun. Very hard. It's very easy to spin that corner. You come into that corner hard and you spin it. It is going to be interesting. As across the line now comes your leader of the race, and yeah, wow. He's already on to his lap 72. Dalavan is about to be on lap 72. Here he is. And Dalavan does have Marquis pretty much not on the same lap, but nearly on the same lap he is here. The leader hasn't lapped. The only thing leader hasn't done yet is lap him or Marquez. Well, Marquez he has lapped. He hasn't lapped Dalavan yet, so he's got to say what he's going to do here with this one. We still, I think, about 76, 76, 77 laps will get done in this race here. You can tell us what you think in the comments as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here today with this race. It all is going to be interesting, of course, it is to say the least, at the end of this one. But 2 hours have flown by today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, if you have enjoyed. And, of course, to Ethan, thank you very much, everybody who has stuck around, I mean. And we do appreciate it. As here comes your leader now, out the last corner he comes, down the line he comes now, about to cross the line and start 73. Now he starts 73, he does. And the leader here is about half a lap ahead of Dalavan, who is just trundling around. Here he is. We do have a battle, but it's not a big battle. It's about 3-second gap between Beza and AKA, which is Akagram. Here it is. It's Beza and Akagram who are the two closest to each other. As Ethan now comes back and can hear me through his computer probably, or something. But anyway, it's there we do. Just to give you an idea as well on this race, somebody said 78 laps were going to get done. I believe we're going to get about 76 or 77 laps done in this race. Yeah, 76
yes,
or 77.
About that. Yeah.
Here today. Should be interesting to see what should be good this way. What else have we got? What else? Oh yeah, Ethan. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to ask you the question as well. It's 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Who would be your driver of the day?
My driver of the day?
And to the chat.
It would I think it would have to be Lonnie. He's just had such a dominant race today. I mean, he's done so well, so Lonnie is driver of the day for me.
Yeah, I think Siventa's done really well today. I know that sounds really bad to say it, but I think Siventa's done really well today. Because Siventa, of course, if you didn't know, started this race with, I think it was, where did he start actually, Siventa? That's what I want to know. He started 8th and he's now up in 4th, so that's a good battle there. Who else has done? Where are we now? Akagram. Oh, I might have to give it. My driver there, by the way, everybody, is Akagram, maybe because he's up another couple of positions there. Let me just check. Yeah, Akagram's got up 4. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you actually. I think it might have to be Lonnie as well. Lonnie or Akagram. Or Siventa. Siventa then, we'll go Siventa drive the day because he started in P8, so there you go.
Yeah, he's done quite well going from P8 to P4, so yeah, he's a good job. And so my driver of the day is Lonnie. James' driver of the day is Siventa. If the audience would like to choose their driver of the day, we can do the comment driver of the day as well. We've got 2 minutes remaining, so about 2 more laps of around here, depending on where Lonnie is, unless he's just crossing the line right now.
He is as well.
Lonnie, yeah, he's about to, so we'll just go about, I think it'll be, unless Lonnie slows down on lap, which I think might be a decent thing to do.
One more lap, last lap, this is the last lap.
No, this is the last lap, so this is the white flag. So the white flag has been drawn out. Brian McAllister said Lonnie for driver of the day, no contest. Yes. For me as well, that is no contest as well. But Lonnie has been given the white flag, so this will be his final lap here around the Fuji circuit.
It is.
Ginetta Evolutions.
And Henry says driver of the day Lonnie as well. So that is it. Lonnie's the chat driver of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Overall driver of the day goes to Lonnie. That's brilliant.
Damn it.
So I think you'll feel quite accomplished with himself today. You got the pole position. What didn't he do? Also, so he got the pole. He got pole position, the fastest lap in practice, the race win, and I believe, if I'm right,
Yep, the race fastest lap, I think. Yeah.
All of them. Order.
Clean sweep. Well done, mate.
What?
But here,
Sorry.
clean sweep to Lonnie. I said, well done. But here he comes. Look, Lonnie does. He's got 20 seconds to get to that line, or else the check flag will be out, and we will finish this race here with 75 laps completed here. Lonnie out the last corner. 10 seconds to go here.
Live Gavra Racing in the Ginetta Evolution class is going here at Fuji, and what a win it has taken him. He goes into second place in the championship. Lonnie comes across the line and wins the Fuji GP for Gavra Racing in the LMP3 class. Dalavan coming across, well, he's actually in the second sector. We'll just go find someone who is about to finish. Let's see if it isn't. Marco finishes in a lovely P3, so the team of Lonnie and Marco has got a very nice point, and they actually go into the lead of the championship in the Constructors' Championship, so great result for them as well.
It does indeed. What a race that is. But here comes Dalavan, absolutely brilliant. He had to fuel the car twice in that race. There he did, because he underfueled. He still has now about 7 litres of fuel left as he comes now out the last corner. Dalavan comes second. He'll flash his lights hard. He'll flash his lights. Weaving may do as well. Dalavan has been amazed. He'd be a bit annoyed that he didn't actually overtake Lonnie earlier. Maybe overtake him and get the lead. But here he comes, 40 seconds behind, and takes it there. We still have 3 more cars to cross, which will be Sia Venter, I think it will, and a few others.
Yep, Sia Venter is about to cross the line in 4th place, which is James's driver of the day.
Cool, mate.
Fuji, so he's had a great race today from 8th place.
And 1 more car to cross, and I think that's Petbiv, so...
Oh, Bez is coming back to Fuji, which you see all the time.
And there's Petbiv across.
So that has been the Gavra Racing Fuji Ginetta Evolution race here today.
Do you want to give us
Lonnie finishing up in 1st place. Dalavan finishing in 2nd. I will just quickly give you the championship order from my calculations. So currently Dalavan leads the championship with 257 points, Lonnie in 2nd place with 256, and David with 254 points. So that is the top 3, and it's going to be an interesting top 3 when we get to the final 3 rounds, which is going to be Le Mans, Silverstone and Spa-Francorchamps, which is going to be really interesting. I hope you guys are all there to join us for that.
Just before we do go quickly, I will give you that it was Lonnie 1st, Dalavan 2nd, Marquis 3rd, Siventa 4th, Beza 5th, Akagram 6th, Duke Martin 7th, DJM DM in 8th, 9th was David, and 10th was Make, or Mark, whatever you want to call him. There it was.
Yeah,
Today's your race.
Thank you very much, people, for joining us tonight. I know it's been a very long race. We've been doing this for about 2.5 hours.
The stream's been up for 2 hours 28 minutes.
Wow, that is a long time. But thanks so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. It's been a quite interesting race here today at Fuji. I hope everyone can join us for the next time where we're at. Le Mans, I don't know if is that a 2-hour race? I don't know.
I think every race is 2 hours now, I think.
Oh, great.
I think, because it goes, I think it went 30 minutes, 1 hour, an hour and a half, an hour, 2 hours.
But yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining us tonight. If you'd like to go follow our social media, it's down in the description below. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified of the next few rounds, where it's going to be very interesting. Only the top separated by about 3 points, so it's very interesting going into the final few rounds. So thank you very much everyone for joining us. My name's been Ethan. I've been joined by James.
Yeah, I've been James. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And of course, do like and subscribe as well.
Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
Goodbye, everyone.